I'm back, you guys. Okay, so did you get something to eat? Did you get something to drink? Are you okay already? Okay, so let's go. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because we've seen it, we've covered it, and we're sure about it, right? So we've studied the future simple and its 4 possible tenses. Not tenses because the tense is future for all of them. But anyway, the 4 different ways we can express future ideas in English. We have simple present, we have present continuous, we have the future with will, and the future with going to. All 4. In different scenarios with different ideas. Even though I want to emphasize this, guys, this generally comes naturally. You end up using the right format just due to practice. But if you are in a real life situation and you want to express an idea and the idea has to be in the future, don't stop to consider, oh, should I say will, should I say going to, because people will understand you, okay? But as we practice, you end up getting the feeling of what goes where. The same thing we do in Portuguese. When we're speaking, we don't really stop to think about the sentence. It just comes in naturally. Okay? So anyway, the future simple, it's 4 ways. You have the simple present when it's established time, when it's something that you can find in a schedule. It is structured, it's routine, it's going to happen at that time. I know because there is a schedule that shows. So I'll take the bus. What time? Will the bus be here? The bus will leave at 5. The bus leaves at 5. I know it leaves at 5 because it is in a schedule. So I can use the simple present to express the future because it is established. It's in the schedule. It's in a timetable. Okay? Guys, if I speak too fast or if you want to hear something explained in Portuguese, please let me know and I'll do it. Okay? So if you want me to explain this in Portuguese, just let me know and I'll do it. Okay? I don't want to make it simpler if you don't need it. But if you need it, let me know, okay? Anyway, then we have the future in the present continuous, which is a plan, something that you have planned to do, but it's going to happen right then. It's a very near future. So, today, I'm having lunch at home. It's a very near future. Okay? So I can use the future with going to. Then we have the future simple itself. We have the 2 ways to express the future. And for will and be going to, future is their idea from start. Because simple present and present continuous, they express present. But they can be used for future. Will and going to necessarily refer to the future. Okay? So I say, I use will when I am talking about predictions. So it's not that I have something that shows me that it's going to happen. It's not that I have indications of this future. I am making a prediction. Okay? So I will say to you guys, in January, we will be having our normal classes at school. I am making a prediction for the future, okay? If I say 2021 will be the best year of our lives, I am making a prediction, okay? If I win the lottery, I will spend my money traveling the world. I'm making a prediction. I can't know if I'm going to win the lottery. So I'm making a prediction, okay? Future with will. The other situation is for snap decisions. Remember, I am not thinking of, I have my entire class planned, but I decide to teach you present perfect. And I say, okay, guys, I will now present the present perfect. Because it is a snap decision, I can use the future with will. Okay? And we have will also for promises. When I'm making a promises, I swear I will bring a game next class. I promise you will ace the test. So I'm making a promise. Okay? I also use will. And when do I use going to? I use going to talk about plans and intentions. Things I am planning to do. So, next year I am going to learn French. I have a plan. I am organizing everything so that by next year I can speak French. Future with going to. And I also use the future with going to when I am making a prediction based on facts. And the example we've seen more than once is the example of the clouds in the sky, right? I see the sky full of heavy clouds, and I say, it's going to rain. Because it is a prediction based on facts, with evidence, I use the future with going to. Okay? So this is the future tenses we have covered. You guys, I'm not really going to spend time here on the structure. If you feel the need, let me know. But you use subject, will, and a verb in the base form without to. I will travel. You will dance. He will buy a car. It will rain. We will ace the test. They will enter college. So, subject, will, and a verb in the base form. Negative, instead of will, we use won't. I won't. And in questions, I put will prior to the subject. I put will before the subject. Okay? Will you be here next Friday? Yes, you will. Okay. For the future with going to, you have the verb to be. Basic, standard verb to be procedure. Negative, I am not, he isn't, she isn't going to. Question, verb to be before the subject. Is she going to? Okay? That's it. As simple as that. Any question on the future tenses? If you have it, now is the time. Okay? Next, Gabriel? Then we also have the vocabulary from the unit we have just studied, right? So, I don't know if you remember the meanings, but we studied throughout, which is when you go from one side to the other. When you pass by something, you go through, right? So it's throughout the year, during the year from beginning to end. We had the patterns, remember the standards. You can have patterns of behavior. When certain people behave the same way all the time, you have a pattern, right? Unsustainable. When something is unsustainable, it's because it will come to an end, right? When something is sustainable, it means that you are always going to count on it because the use you are doing will not bring it to an end. When something is unsustainable, it means that you won't be able to sustain that activity for too long. So it's going to reach an end. Over-reliance, when you rely too much on something, right? When you depend too much on something. Sprawl, the spread. When a city, I don't know, Fortaleza used to be downtown Fortaleza, now we're going all the way to Eusébio, to Calcaia, the city sprawled, right? Merely, simply, basically. Thoughtfully, when you do something with consideration. When you consider others, you're being thoughtful. When you do something considering the results in others, you are doing something thoughtfully. Disruptive, when it changes, when it's innovative, right? Living standards, the patterns of living. the different levels, right? The way of life, the quality of life, it's a living standard. Fosters is to support, to help, right? Study fosters learning. It supports, it helps, something else. Forthcoming, that it's right there, that it's getting there, it's next. And therefore, the same thing as so, right? To express consequence. Okay? So, the vocabulary from the unit we were studying. One more, Gabriel. We also studied the meaning of actually, right? Actually being a false cognate. Remember, we talked about it being a false cognate. What is a false cognate? It's a word that when you look at it, you think, I know what this is, because it is the same as in Portuguese, but it is false, because actually it means something else, right? So, typical examples of a false cognate. We have lunch, right? Because it seems like a snack, but it really isn't. We have parents, because it sounds like something else, but in English, parents are your mother and your father. And then you have actually, which resembles a different word in Portuguese. We think it might be a word in Portuguese, but actually is not nowadays. Actually is the word you use when you are correcting, making a slight change on an idea. And in English, you could substitute actually in many sentences by really. She is really my sister. She's actually my, is that your cousin? Yeah, she's really my sister. She's actually my sister. You can substitute it by the use of indeed, or you can substitute it for the use of in fact. What you cannot have it confused with is the word nowadays. Because in Portuguese, actually makes you think it means atualmente, but it isn't the case. In English, atualmente you say nowadays. Okay? Next, Gabriel. We also studied the phrasal verbs formed by run and a particle, right? So we've seen that phrasal verbs are expressions that involve a verb. And because of this additional word, you might have a change of meaning. This is what we call a phrasal verb. So we studied that when I say to run away, it means I'm going somewhere without letting anyone know, right, where I'm going. We've seen that when I run over something, I might be saying that I looked at it without paying too much attention, right? We learned that when you say to run into somebody is to meet someone by accident. To run along, when you say to someone, come on, chop, chop, go ahead, take a hike, right? To run after, the police is running after the thief. They're chasing. So just remember to study the different meanings that the verb to run can have when you have it added to different particles. Okay? Next, Gabriel. And then we went to the modal verbs, right? So we've covered can, could, the expression had better, which works the same as should because it gives advice. May and might, because they express permission and they also express probability. Even though might for permission is not usual, may for permission is very common, right? But they both express probability, more of a possibility of something happening, right? It can happen, but I'm not saying I'm sure this is going to happen. So I say, I may come tomorrow. It's a possibility. I'm not saying I will come, I'm going to come. I'm just saying that it's one of the many possibilities. Okay? Must as an obligation, as a necessity. In the negative form, it expresses a prohibition, and also it expresses a deduction, an expectation. Yeah? When I say the teacher is not here, she must be sick, so I'm making a deduction. Then I have should and ought to for a natural obligation. It's like, if you're going to put it in levels, must is stronger than should. But the meaning is similar, okay? But anyway, must is something stronger. It holds the idea of an even more important action to be taken. So when I say you should, that's why we say should means advice and must means obligation. And in Portuguese, they both would be dever. They would both be translated in the same word. But it's important that you notice that they have a difference in intensity. Okay? So that's why we say must is an obligation and should is an indication. It's a suggestion. It's an advice. Okay? Next. Gabriel? Okay. Oh, and just to take it back, can and could, can for permission, and for possibilities, and for abilities, right? And could, you can use for permissions in the present also, but when you are talking about abilities, could is the past of can. So an ability in the past, something I used to do, I was able to do, but I'm not anymore, I use with could. Okay? And we have shall, which is a word that it's not so common to hear anymore. You use it only with first and first singular and first plural subjects, I and we, and they express an invitation or a suggestion. Like I say, shall we go to the party? Okay. Okay. I got it. Yeah. Okay. Sylvia, right? Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll do that. Okay. Anyway, you guys. So, shall we use with first person singular and plural, and it can work as an invitation. Shall we go to the party? Shall we go to the mall after class? So I am suggesting that we do something. Okay? We have would for the conditional when it expresses a wish, a request, or an intention. Like I said, in Portuguese, we write it in the verb. It's iria, gostaria, faria. I would go, I would like, I would do. Okay? And you can say, you can use it for hypothetical situations. If I were you, I would live abroad. So, why do I use would and not will? Because the situation is hypothetical. It's not real. It's not something that can happen. It's just a hypothesis. So I use would instead of will. Okay? Also, I use it to make requests. When you are at a restaurant and you say, I'd like to see that dress, please. I would like, I'd like. Just because it's polite to use this expression instead of saying, I like to see that dress. Also because I like, it's more of a constant idea, right? And we also use to express intention. In this scenario, I would like to invite you to my birthday party. So it's an intention, okay? And then you have the expression would rather to express a preference. I'd rather stay than go out. I'd rather drive a car than take the bus. So to to express a preference. Because it's a preference, it's very common to have it with than in the sentence. When you prefer one thing over something else. So because expressing a preference is a way of comparing, right? When you use I'd rather, you might use than in the sentence, the same way you do with the comparative. So, I'd rather stay home than go to the mall, because I am comparing. It ends up being a comparison. Okay? Okay, next, Gabriel. Let's play the game. Let's try to do it. I want to invite you now to review the modal verbs with a Kahoot game. I'm sure you have already used Kahoot. Maybe you have not used it in this scenario, but it's possible, and we're going to do it if you guys want it. Do you feel it's going to work? It's going to be a review exercise on modal verbs. Okay? Renatinha, estão dizendo alguma coisa? No? Okay. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to share the Kahoot code, okay? And also the QR code and the address, whatever works best for you. And then you guys are joining the room and we're going to play the game, okay? Let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, then we abort it. But it's going to work. Gabriel, tu pode compartilhar aquela tela que tem o número? Okay, so, oops, I don't have a QR code. Sorry, guys. You have to type in kahoot.it. Kahoot.it. And then when you do so, they're going to show you a space for you to enter this code. I have Bia already. You're going to type 894004. Okay? I have Guilherme, Laís, Bia. It's working, right? Alguém? Não? Tudo okay? Okay. I have Lucas, Vinícius, Yasmin, Laís. We have two Laís? Or just, no, just because you changed. Yeah, we have Laís Maia and Laís Lage. Maria Clara, David. I have 10. Tem quantos aí? Não, Okay. I have 10 players. Is anyone else joining in? Should we wait a little more? If you can't join in Kahoot, it's okay. You still are going to see the questions and you are going to see the exercise, okay? So don't worry, you're going to see the explanations and everything. If you join in, you get to play the game. You get to compete against your classmates. But if you don't join in, still stay with us because we're going to do a review on modal verbs, okay? I had 12 and now I have only 11. What happened? We leave no soldier behind. Now I have only 10? Okay, thank you, Ivna, for joining. Ana Beatriz, I have 12. I have 13. When you say okay, I'll get started. Okay? Again, if you don't want to play it, if you can't play it, it's also okay. Just check in for the exercise. Okay? Can I get started? Renata, alguma notícia aí? Posso começar? No? I have 13 players. Can I start? Just let me know. Yes, I can start. No, I should wait. I'm asking for permission. See? Using the modal verb. Can I get started? I have 13 players. I think that's I have 14 players. I'll get started. Yes? Renatinha, nada? Yes, so let's get started, okay? Gabriel, tu vai apertar onde tem start. Okay, so let's play it, okay? I've added additional time so that you guys have time to see the question. So the sentence is, this website offers music to download for free. You, red answer, can't. Yellow, shouldn't. Blue, don't have to. Or green, mustn't. I have 10 answers already. Oh, you guys are pretty fast. I've added a lot of extra seconds because I was afraid, because of the delay, when you guys got to answer, the time would be up. But it's perfect. It's working perfect. I think I need only a couple more answers. Come on. I have 12 answers. This website offers music to download for free. You can't pay, you shouldn't pay, you don't have to pay, or you mustn't pay. Now, you're going to pay attention to the idea. I think there is only one person that hasn't answered yet. Otherwise, it would have stopped. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I have 13 answers now. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Guys, now, woohoo! All correct answers. Fantastic. The website is free. The only thing I know is that I am not obligated to pay. It's not that it's prohibited. Maybe I can make a donation. Maybe if I want, I can assist them, whatever. I just know that it's not my obligation to pay, so I don't have to pay. Fantastic. Everybody got it right. Next, let's see who did it faster. So, let's see the points. Yasmin is in the first place. Then we got Lucas and David, Ana Beatriz and Cecily. Get great. Let's go to the next question. She's overweight. She do more exercises. So, she's overweight. She do more exercises. She should. The red answer is should. The yellow answer is may. The blue answer is must. And the green answer is needn't. Now pay attention. I am no doctor. I am no, what can I say? She's my friend. So what am I saying? Should, must, may, or needn't. I think everybody has answered. We have no delay today. Can you, aperta no botãozinho, skip. Oh, I have 14 answers. Oh, sorry. I think you guys had all answered. Okay, should. I had one must. And this is the reason why I was emphasizing that she's a friend. I'm not her doctor, okay? Because depending on the scenario, must would be a possibility as well, right? If I am the person's doctor, maybe if I am the person's parent, I am worried about the person, I can say, you must do more exercise. But because I am just a friend, I am advising, I use should, okay? So it's not that must is completely wrong. But in this scenario, the correct answer would be should. Let's see who's in first place. Come on, Gabriel. Yasmin is keeping the, okay, Yasmin is keeping the first place. Ana Beatriz went up. Lucas is holding on to the second place. Okay, Lucas. David is there, and Bia. Excellent, guys. Next. He's on a diet. He eats chocolate. Now pay attention. The situation is real. The person is on a diet. If you are on a diet, what happens? He might eat chocolate. He should eat chocolate. He needn't eat chocolate, or he mustn't eat chocolate. Because he's on a diet, what is the consequence? I have 15 answers mustn't. You guys are fantastic. So I have 15 players, and I have 15 correct answers. If you are on a diet, you are prohibited to eat chocolate. Of course, in the real world, we know that we may eat chocolate, right? It's a possibility. But in the scenario, in the idea, because I'm on a diet, I mustn't eat chocolate. It's a prohibition. Fantastic, guys. Next. Who's up front? Yasmin is holding on to the first place. Ana Beatriz is closing in on her. Lucas and David, you're representing the guys in this classroom. Okay, perfect. And Amanda is the highest climber. Amanda is climbing up spots quickly. Great. Next, Gabriel. I don't know at what time he will come back home. It be late. I don't know at what time he will come back home. It be late. Emphasis on the idea, I don't know. I don't know. Gabriel. I have 11 might. Okay, pay attention here. I understand why some of you chose must, but I'll explain it, right? You know what brings the confusion? The picture, right? Because she seems like she's making a deduction that it's late already. So I respect the must answer. Because of the picture, it misleads you to thinking that if I were making a deduction and I look worried, it's because I am expecting, my deduction is that he will be late. Okay, but the emphasis here, forgetting the picture, the sentence, is that I don't know. If I don't know, I have no expectation. It's just a possibility. Maybe it will be late, maybe it won't be late. So it might be late, just because I don't know. Both things are possible. Okay? Next, let's see who's up front. Yasmin is holding on. Cecily is on fire. And you guys are pretty close on the number of points. Very good. Next, on your scores. Question 5. Ellie has got all her albums and gone to all her concerts. She be a big fan of her. So here, I am talking about someone who has all the albums of a singer or a band, and someone who goes to all these bands' concerts. So what can I say about this person? And you, who are you a fan of? Are you a fan of games? Do you play a lot of games on the computer? You must enjoy Clash of Clans a lot. I have all the answers. I had 2 might, and then might expresses possibility, and must because I am making a deduction. I suppose, I expect that she is a big fan because she goes to all the concerts. She has all the albums, so I suspect she is a big fan. I am making a deduction. I have a great expectation. So I use must. Gabriel, who's up front? Who's in first place? Next. Yasmin. Oh, Yasmin is holding on to that first place. Very good. David, Bia, Larissa, and Cecily on fire. Okay, next. Number 6. I will. I think I have all the information there. I will run a marathon after some months of training. I will run a marathon after some months of training. What's the correct answer? Okay. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I love this. I have 13 correct answers, and I have 2 people who dropped out because I only have 13 players now. But I hope that even if you have dropped out of the game, you're paying attention to the exercises, okay? And to the explanations. Pay attention. I already have will. So I know I will not have a second modal verb. It's impossible to have a sentence with I will can, I will would, I will must. This doesn't exist. So can and could are completely out of the question. Need, because we said that need has both uses. Need can be an auxiliary verb similar to a modal verb, but need can also be the main verb. It is possible to have a sentence with will need. But then you see that it wouldn't be correct in this sentence because I am talking about an ability, a capacity, something that if I train, I'm going to develop. I'm going to be able to run a marathon. So the correct answer is I will be able to. Perfect. Remember that can talks about the ability in the present. Could talks about the ability in the past. But what if I want to talk about an ability in the future? I have to use the expression be able. I will be able. Perfect. Everybody got it right. Next. Yes, man? David is on fire now. Very good. And Guilherme is there. Okay. Next. Exercise 7. There is no school tomorrow. I get up early. There is no school tomorrow. I get up early. Okay, you see? He's all happy because he doesn't have to get up early. That's not you guys. You love waking up early, especially on Fridays because you have English classes and you get all enthusiastic. Woohoo, I have English. But this guy is happy that he doesn't have to wake up early. That's because he doesn't have an English class, I'm sure. Anyhow, there is no school tomorrow. I get up early. I have 12 answers. Just one more to go. I think the delay is very, very little today. You guys are getting it right away. I have 10 answers needed, which is the correct answer, okay? And for mustn't and for shouldn't, I'm going to tell you why. The fact that I don't have classes makes me free of waking up early. But what if I want to wake up early? What if I prefer to wake up early? I am not saying that it's not advisable or that it is prohibited to wake up early. No, I am just saying that you don't have the obligation. So the idea is I needn't because I don't have the obligation to. That's all I can say. If I like waking up early, I don't have to get up early, but I will get up early because I like it, okay? So I am not prohibited. It's not that you don't advise me to wake up early, no. It's just that you are not obligated. Important to remember, must is the same as have to. I must study is the same as I have to study. The negative, I mustn't study, is a prohibition. I don't have to study is not a prohibition. It's freedom. I study if I want, but I am not obligated to do it. Okay? So do you see? In the affirmative, they mean the same, but in the negative, they don't. Okay? Next. We're almost done. Oh, Larissa! What a turn of events! Okay, so let's go next. We have only 3 to go. You smoke here. It is forbidden. It is forbidden. This one's too easy. It's going to be very fast. You smoke here. It is forbidden. Is this the easiest one? Come on, where are my answers? Okay. This will be quick because it's too easy. Aha, you mustn't, because it is forbidden. You mustn't. It's a prohibition, remember? You don't have to smoke here. Means you smoke if you want. You are not obligated. You don't have to. Okay? You don't have to clap for me. You don't have to. You only clap if you want. So, it's not prohibited. You do if you want. But you mustn't is a prohibition. If it is forbidden, you mustn't smoke here. Next. I think we have 2 to go only. Who's up front? Larissa is up front. Cecily is on fire again. Next. Okay. I give you a lift to school. It's on the way. I give you a lift to school. It's on the way. I am driving to school, and you live between my home and my work. So because I am going to pass near your house, I give you a lift. If you want, I give you a lift. It's on the way. Okay? It's easy. I am not obligated. You are not obligated. Very good, Ken. I can give you a lift to school. It's on the way. It's possible, right? I am able to give you this lift because it's on my way. If you want, you can come. If you don't want, you don't have to. It's an option. So because it is a possibility, can. Perfect. And the final one. Gabriel, let's see who's up front. Larissa is up front still. Guilherme is on fire. Yasmin is there. And let's go to the final one. Come on. Do I really wear a swimming cap? I don't like how it looks. Do I really wear a swimming cap? I don't like how it looks. We have 7, 8, 9. I think this one's easy. I think you guys are going to get it right. We have 12. Oh, everybody got it right. It could be must, but I have do. So it can't be do I must, do I really must? No. It could be must I, right? But because I have do, the only even if I didn't understand the sentence, must, can, and may, they make the questions, right? On their own. They don't need another auxiliary. They don't use do, right? So because I have do, the only one I could use would be have to. Do I really have to? Am I really obligated to wear it? And let's see who won. What's the podium? Who do I have in the front? Guilherme is third place. Okay, very nice, Guilherme. Cecily, second place. And who's number 1? Larissa. Very nice, guys. Fantastic. And then we have Yasmin and Lucas as the runner-ups. Excellent, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I like to have this kind of activity, but you let me know if it was fun for you too, okay? And before we finish the class, I want to tell you to tell you 2 things. First of all, you have also studied simple past and past continuous, right? So take a look, make a review on those topics, and just remember that a past continuous is an activity that was in action during a certain time. So for example, last night, while I was watching TV, because it was an action in progress, my brother was running, an action in progress, for a period of time in the past, right? But when I talk about in a specific time in the past and an action that took place, I use the simple past. I went to the movies. Okay? And remember to use the auxiliary did. So take a look on the simple past tenses you've studied on chapter 3, but mostly modal verbs and the future tenses in our vocabulary, okay? Our test is going to have grammar topics and reading comprehension, the way you guys are familiar with. I have exercises that the headline is in English, okay? So some headlines are not in Portuguese. I'm sure you guys are going to find it very easy, but if you have any questions, make sure you ask Renata or you ask Sylvia and they'll send it to me, but you're going to find it very simple. It's only 6 questions, you're going to do it in a minute. But expect reading comprehension, but also expect some grammar exercises, okay? Any questions? Não? Renatinha, alguma dúvida aí? Apareceu alguma pergunta? Falei sobre a prova, tá, gente? Então, ó, só recapitulando. A prova é principalmente nesse conteúdo da unidade 4, que a gente estudou hoje, que a gente fez toda essa revisão. Dei uma olhadinha também no Simple Past, Past Continuous, que é da unidade anterior. Mas o foco é nesses modal verbs que vocês estão craques e nos future tenses, tá bom? Qualquer dúvida, vocês podem perguntar para as meninas que elas vão passar para mim. E, bem tranquilo, enunciados em inglês em algumas questões, mas aqueles enunciados complete, marque, né? Nada que vá, assim, apresentar uma grande dificuldade para vocês, mas qualquer dúvida, perguntem para as meninas. Qualquer dúvida também pode perguntar agora. Renatinha, alguma dúvida aí? Ok. Espero que vocês tenham curtido. Eu curti. Thank you very much. I am available. You know my email if you want to send something directly to me. Okay? Or you can access through the girls. Okay? Our time is up. Have a nice rest of the week. Study for your tests. You're going to do it easily. It will be piece of cake. And I'll see you next Friday. Thank you so much. It was great being with you guys. Bye-bye.